Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a little project to share with you today. I am going to be creating a couple of collage master boards that I will be using to create some pockets and some tuck spots and some tags for some junk journals that I am in the process of creating. So what I'm using today are some printables from the Junk Journal Studio. This is called the Winter Collage and Cluster Mega Pack. It's a ginormous set of printables that you can get over on Etsy. I will link her channel, her Etsy shop down below. And I actually had this since last year. I worked on it a little bit last year, and these are all just leftover bits and bobs that I have had, and I wanted to do something with them. And sometimes a good way to use up sort of those little pieces and scraps are through Collage Master boards, but these also coordinate with some projects that I have going on. So I'm going to be taking these pieces. I have them printed out on some heavier paper, and so I have decided to use this magazine to try to create my master boards. I have not used paper this thin before. Typically when I create master boards, I'm working on maybe some cardstock or some packaging oftentimes, or even leftover, like less loved scrapbook paper or whatever that's just in my stash. And but this time, because that paper that I'm using is a little bit thicker, I just knew that was going to add a lot of bulk. And I have seen Gail Augustinelli do her collage masterboards on magazine pages. And so I thought I would give it a try and see. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was expecting these to kind of get curly and stuff, but I think because of the weight of the paper that I'm gluing down, it actually stayed pretty well. And even if it did kind of curl up, you could easily put it under something heavy and it would flatten out really easily. I am using a Yoo-Hoo glue stick. It is my preferred glue whenever I am doing this type of collage. Oftentimes in times past, I have used collage medium or matte gel medium, something like that, to do that, and just kind of done, a coat underneath and a coat over the top. These are printables though. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with that. And also it kind of depends on what I'm using the master board for. If I'm going to be using it for mixed media type things and adding paints and just those kinds of things, that's when I will tend to do something like a matte medium or something like that. But for this particular case, they are just going to be going into junk journals as pockets and tags and things. And so I will be decorating them further down the road. However, I don't feel that I need to have them like sealed like I would do with like matte medium or whatever. I'm not going to be adding texture paste or anything like that over the top, although you certainly could if you wanted to. That's just not how I'm going to do that for today. Although let me know if that's down the road, if you would like to see that type of a master board. This is really just going to be some little paper bits. And so you can see I started off with some bigger pieces of those collage papers, some just bigger sort of patterns, and just to really get some color down and some pattern down. And then I will come back through and add some other pieces. I have a couple on there already that are more like ephemera pieces, labels, more focal images and that kind of stuff. And normally whenever I do a collage masterboard, I don't concern myself so much with the orientation because I'm going to be cutting it up and everything anyway. For some reason, I don't know if it was because I was working in this book or whatever, but for some reason I did really keep everything kind of vertically. But I don't really mind if I have something that has some handwriting or something that's upside down or, skewed to the left or to the right or whatever, simply because it's really just background. It's intended to be visual interest in the background and not the focal image. The focal images and all of those things will come later. So I don't mind if you can see like that section up at the top. I have that one label that's sideways. That does not bother me at all. I know some people that they are not a fan of that, but for me, I don't mind. And most of what I'm gluing down today is straight cuts, although it's not necessary. You can see I do have some pages where I've torn the edges. I'm going back over and kind of cutting that because most of what I'm adhering on here is actually straight cuts, but you could certainly, have everything torn. There's kind of two sides of that argument. Some people are very much, everything needs to be straight cuts and glued, just, kind of square, and other people are just kind of glue down random things. For me, I do both. It depends on the project. It depends on how I'm feeling that day or my kind of intended use for that masterboard in the first place. So now I'm going to come through and kind of add a second layer. You can see why I was concerned with not adding too much bulk, because just layer on top of layer of adding things. And so I am adding some of the little ephemera pieces from this masterboard kit, or excuse me, from the collage and mega pack. There are all kinds of pieces in here. There are like the little postage stamp that you can kind of see over there on the right. There's tickets, there's tags and labels, and just all sorts of things. And so I'm trying to add some of those smaller pieces now. I did have this little ticket on here that I wanted to add, and I'm kind of being careful, I would say, not really careful, but I am being considerate, maybe, I guess, of where I'm placing some of these uppermost layers. I'm trying to kind of cover up some of the papers where they intersect underneath, just to kind of break up some of those, so I don't have like really long lines or anything like that. Just kind of breaks up the interest, and especially once this gets cut up, you'll kind of see how that will work. So I'm going to tear this one out now. I'm going to trim off this edge that was sort of where the spine was of this little magazine. I'm just going to set this off to the side to dry. I was pleasantly surprised that it was not curling up, and like I said, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I'm dealing with some pretty heavy duty paper. I think if you were doing thin paper with a Yoo-hoo glue stick on top of magazine paper, it might curl a little bit more. I think you could probably still get it to lay flat if you put it under something heavy while it dried. But for me, I was really surprised that it wasn't curling more. And so I'm going back in with those same papers, the same pieces, and I'm going to do this same process here on this second masterboard. And while I'm doing that, I wanted to share some things with you. If you saw the title, I have some exciting things that are going to be happening this year that I'm very excited to share with you. And the first of those is I am going to start a Facebook group. I have it set up. It is titled Called, Chosen, and Crafting. I hope that you will join me over there. This has been something I have been thinking about for months, and just kind of decided finally that I needed to just go ahead and be brave and do this. I was notified by YouTube back in December that I had celebrated my 4-year anniversary of posting my very first video here on this platform. And it just really solidified the idea that I have this kind of growing community that I'm very excited about. And it's kind of hard to interact with everybody the way that I want to, only here on YouTube, as I have some people who they don't follow me over on Instagram. A lot of people are more interested in Facebook, and my Facebook that I currently have is just a personal Facebook to keep up with friends and family. And so I don't share a lot of my art or anything over there. And so it seemed like the best idea would be just to kind of take the plunge and open up this Facebook group. Like I said, I really hope that you will join me over there. I will put the link for it down below. There's a couple questions you need to answer when you get there. Nothing too crazy, but it's all part of my intention to really continue to grow this community and to share my love of all things paper and Bible journaling and art journaling and junk journaling and mixed media and all those things that I've been doing for years. And also kind of combine that with my love of teaching and some other things. I have a few things kind of in the works this year that I'm very, very excited about. And so over the next few months, you'll see my channel name is going to change, and also my Instagram handle will be changing. But that's going to take me a little while to kind of roll that out. I have a couple things that are in the works right now, so I don't really want to change my channel name just yet. But am kind of starting that process with the Facebook group. I just feel like it will make it easier to kind of find me on all of those different platforms. I'm not a, social media guru by any means. When I posted that very first video 4 years ago, I really wasn't even sure that anyone was ever going to follow me or watch any of my videos on YouTube. So I have been pleasantly surprised. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. If you're new here, thank you so much. If you are returning, I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the kind comments and encouragement, and for hanging with me through, as you know, I have just learned along the way. Like I said, I don't claim to be a social media guru or even anything like that. I'm just passionate about creativity and using our creativity to really sort of solidify the things that we learn as we're studying through the Bible, through devotionals, through all of those types of things. And so I'm hoping that once I get to the group to a certain size that it needs to be, I can do some lives over there as well, where I can more closely interact with everybody. I think like that would be an easier way to do that, because like I said, although you can do that here on YouTube and on Instagram, I have people that don't follow on both of those platforms. And so I'm hoping that this will be kind of a way to sort of bring everybody together. I would love for you to share what the Lord is showing you with your projects and your creativity and how you're expressing yourself and your faith walk over in the YouTube or in the Facebook group. Again, it's called Chosen and Crafting. I'll link it down below. I am very excited. I'm very nervous about it, about starting this kind of venture. I do have a few other things, like I said, that I want to roll out this year that are making me a little bit nervous, but I'm trying to just kind of power through and do it anyway, because I feel like that's what I need to be doing. I want to be able to share. I want to have a good place where I can share really more about the heart behind what I do. It's not just, gluing cute things and slapping some paint down, and all of those things are fun. But there is a lot of times more heart than what I can share just in a few minutes on a video here on YouTube or in an Instagram post. And like I said, I have a lot of people who don't use Instagram, or don't follow me over there or whatever. So I'm hoping that this will be a good way to bring everything together, and like I said, bring some cohesion between all of those platforms. So with that being said, if there's something on my YouTube channel for 2025 that you would like to see, I would love it if you would leave that down below in the comments. I have some ideas. I have some things I'm going to be rolling out this year, and I'm very excited about, but I'd love to hear from you, what you would like to hear from me. I have some teaching opportunities coming up that I'm very excited about, and I'm passionate about teaching people how to do things. Like I said, I have been a long time paper crafter. I've been crafting, almost 30 years, everything from card making, scrapbooking, mixed media art journaling, Bible journaling, the whole 9 yards. And so I love to share all of that, and I love to teach people what I have kind of learned along the way. And so that's going to be sort of my push through this year to do more of that. With that being said, I'll just put a little plug here. I am teaching in a virtual retreat that is hosted by Creative Worship Stamps. That's previously Sweet and Sassy Stamps. This retreat is going to be held February 7th and 8th. I will be doing a class on February 7th, and so if you are interested in that, I will put the link for registration down below, and you can join us over there. It's going to be 2 days. There's 14 instructors teaching everything from card making to art journaling, mixed media, junk journaling. That's what I will be teaching. And so there's just going to be a lot into those 2 days. It's a private Facebook group that you'll get a link to when you register. So if you're interested in that, like I said, I will put that down. That's one of the things that I'm going to be doing. I really love to be able to interact with that in that way. And so I think having my own Facebook group to be able to do that more regularly is going to be a good way for me to sort of share and teach and and maybe help people as I can with being able to answer like questions in real time and doing some more real time things over there. So you can see here on camera, I'm just now getting to where I'm cutting all of these pieces down. Most of this I did blind, meaning I had it upside down. I couldn't see the pattern. A couple of these are going to be belly bands. These are going to be maybe some tall tags or journaling cards. And just kind of when I look at them, I'll determine how I want to cut those up. So right here at the end, I'm going to show you what I have created. These are some belly bands for these first two. I have some tags here. You can kind of see how all of those patterns are kind of broken up. I'll add some focal images and things to the end when I go to use them, but that kind of gives you an idea for how I use these Collage Master boards. Like I said, I'd love to see you over on my new Facebook group. Let me know your thoughts, ideas, opinions down in the comments below. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.